Hi everyone, my name's Tony and welcome to another Hangout on Air.
And my name is Mairead. Today what we're going to be discussing is how to create an ad schedule and a location bid adjustment to try and help you boost your online sales.
So first things first, Mairead, we want to look at the statistics that are going to help us determine where we're going to set those bid adjustments. All right, and today's Hangout on Air, we're going to be focused on geographic and time. And those are the two things, as I said, we're going to look at today.
Okay, perfect. So how do we look at these two things? So firstly, I'm going to start with the time aspect. Now I'm going to jump over to a visual representation so you guys can follow along in your account if you so wish to. I'm going to choose the library campaign. Now this is a really important tab over here called the Dimensions tab. And in this tab we can see an awful lot of data. So what we're going to look at right now for the purpose of our ad schedule is the information about the time. So if we click here on our View Geographic button, looking down at this drop down menu where you can see there's a huge amount of options here, but what I'm going to look at is time. So what we're going to go on here is day of the week. Now this is going to bring you up a lot of information about what is going on the different days of the week. What I'm actually going to do here is filter down by the converted clicks, because obviously everyone wants to find out what's the most important day. I think we'd all agree that when we're getting these conversions or when we're getting the sales is the most important time. Now unfortunately we only have one here, but this is really important, and again we just need to bring everyone's attention back to the fact that if you haven't got conversion tracking set up, you obviously won't have this data in here.
Absolutely, Mairead, and I think we could certainly do a bit more work on this account if we've only got one conversion.
Absolutely.
So some work needed. So the next thing we're going to do, and again, to just to demo this and give you an opportunity to see it, we're going to now look at setting up an ad schedule, okay? So I'm going to direct us back to the campaign, again, the library campaign. So for us, our library, we're open Monday to Saturday. So we want to make sure we're going to go in here to our ad schedule. And we can see here that we're actually already set up. So the way we do that, all right, we've got it every day, Monday to Saturday, but actually we've decided now we're also going to open on a Sunday, okay? So we can go in here into plus ad schedule. You can see the breakdown nicely here. We've got 9 to 5. Now let's just scratch all this and start from the beginning so you can see what that looks like. You have an opportunity here to click on Create Custom Schedule. So depending on when your business is open or when you do your most trading, you'll be able to decide when you want your ads to show. So as I said, for us, we're going to have a Monday to Friday. Our library, which is awesome, we're open 9 to 5, and we're also opening on Saturday, which we've talked about, but actually we're starting to grow our business, and we've decided that Sunday's a good day, family day. We want people to come visit us then. So we're going to add in Sunday, again, same opening hours, 9 to 5. And there we go. So now we have decided that even though by default our ads are going to be showing across the entire week every day and across all hours, we've now decided that actually we want to focus on that 9 to 5 throughout the 7 days of the week.
Perfect. Thanks so much for running us through that, Tony. I really feel like the ad schedule is an underutilized tool, especially because people don't even realize that they don't have to have their ads running all the time. They can choose, especially the 9 to 5. If people don't want to have your ad showing on the weekend, it's so easy to do it this way. So why is this also important to have your ad schedule? As we've seen from the Dimensions tab, Saturday is a really, really important day for us for trading. So how does this make any difference? Because on a Saturday we can introduce a bid adjustment. Now we've clearly explained what an ad schedule is, but what exactly is a bid adjustment? This is a change in the percentage that you're willing to pay for your bids. And also something people don't realize is this can be actually a negative or a positive change to percentage. So obviously, as we figured out that the Saturday is the day we want to boost up our sales.
We had that big conversion, remember?
Absolutely. This is the day that we want to put our bid adjustment on. So if we just jump over to a visual representation, I just want to show you how you can actually do this bid adjustment. It's incredibly simple, and again, something that people don't realize is that easy. All we have to do, staying in the ad schedule tab, we just need to choose this little line beside the day that we want to increase or decrease. So following this, simply press on that little line, and in here we have the option to increase by or decrease by. Now obviously because we've decided that this is a really important day, we're going to do an increase by 10%, but if you found that perhaps on a Monday you weren't really getting any conversions or were finding the clicks were very expensive, you could decrease them this way. So now that we have this 10% bid adjustment, what this means is if you spent £1 as your max CPC, with a 10% increase, this could go up to £1.10. And I think it's really, really important for people to remember also that this isn't going to increase your budget. And this is a common myth that I think a lot of advertisers are worried about. Your budget will stay the same. You're just trying to be a little bit more competitive on the time and date that you feel are getting you more conversions.
Absolutely, Mairead, and it really is all about how we're using that budget, right? Whether we're focusing on, for example, as you say, if the library's really busy on Wednesday and that's a good day for us, this is a really great example of that. So the next thing we're going to look at now is we're going to look at the second element, which is to do with geographic. Okay, it's to do with, okay, we've targeted the right time now, we're focused on that specific day, but now let's take a look at where we're putting our ad, okay, in terms of the right place. So again, if we're going into this dimensions report, it's a lovely report. There's a whole lot of information there that we can break down. For this one, we're just going to go back into dimensions across the campaign level, although it's important to remember you can do this across the entire account and also individual ad groups. So we go into geographic, we take a look there, and we can see that yes, United States is going well for us, and California, and then right here we've got the San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose area. So that's excellent for us. Again, that one lonely conversion is sitting there. So again, that would give us an insight into perhaps something that we should think about adding on.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Tony. Because the thing is, if you're targeting a really, really large geographic area, then having a look at a report like this will actually allow you to break it down by what's important, and then we can segment it out within your account. So let's have a quick look how to do that. We're just going to navigate back to the settings tab, and last time we chose the ad schedule here. This time we're going to choose locations. So what we can see here, we have plus locations in red, and we can see that we have San Francisco here. But if we want to try and put in perhaps Redwood, because we saw that this was actually the city that was converting the most, we can add it in simply like this. But you can choose as many different locations as you want to put in here. So that is kind of how you can segment out by the targeting for more granular reporting.
Awesome. And the exciting thing about that, Mairead, is once you actually have done that, you now have the opportunity to come back into your locations within your settings and then see at a quick glance how you're performing in that specific location. But there is a next step to this, Mairead, and this is where it gets really exciting. So when we have it here, we can now come back in, and again, coming back to the focus of today, driving online sales, we want to always be finding the places that are bringing us the most conversion. So in this case, as Mairead has set up, it is in that San Fran, Oakland area. So now I'm going to just direct us back to the screen, and we're going to take a look at that, because we have that here, but at the moment we have our bids equal, all right, equal across both areas that we have set up in our target locations. However, remember that conversion, we really want to focus on getting more of those. So when you have that conversion tracking data, you can use it to your advantage, and now think about setting another bid adjustment here in the San Francisco area. So simply just locate that bid ADJ, or bid adjust column, click on the little tab underneath there, or the little dash rather, and then you get to increase by. And Mairead's already mentioned this, but there is the opportunity to decrease by. But for us, this has worked out well. We've got that conversion, and we're going to add on a 10% bid adjustment, which again, if we're bidding $1 or £1, then we're saying, look, we're prepared to go 10% more to £1.10 or $1.10.
Great, perfect. Thank you so much, Tony. So something I just really want to reiterate about this is that you can reduce it. So although we're saying bid adjustments, people typically think that this is just for increases, but if there's something that's really not performing, you can equally decrease this. Is there anything you want people to take away?
I mean, I think the other thing that we can't forget is that these bid adjustments, they're actually multiplied, Mairead. So it's important to note, so that if you have, again, let's think about a specific user. We've set up these two bid adjustments. If we have a specific user who's searching on a Saturday, and we have a 10% bid adjustment on a Saturday, right, and they're also searching from that San Francisco area, that's two bid adjustments. So the criteria is met, all right, for that specific user searching online from those locations and at that time. So they will be multiplied, and therefore thinking about if we have a £1 or a $1 bid, that will actually increase to £1.21 or $1.21.
Great, perfect. Thank you so much, Tony.
No problem.
So I can actually see that a question has come in. So thank you so much for participating in this Hangouts on Tube. So what we can see here, is there a method where we can increase budget for specific keywords, which is performing very well? So this is actually quite simplistic, and we can even maybe just do a quick visual representation. And this, all you would have to do here is just increase your max CPC. So if we want to just fly over and have even a quick look how we can do it within this account.
Sure.
So for example, in here, in our keywords tab, you'll be able to see the max CPC that you're willing to pay. In this instance, all we would have to do to increase it is to edit it. We can put in here perhaps 260. And this is actually a really, really good way of going about it. And people really underutilize the fact that you don't have to pay the same for all of your keywords. And you're absolutely right, Sandeep, if you do want to increase the bids for some because they're performing well, then you absolutely should be doing so. I feel that maybe just to explain it a tiny bit further, in case you're not given that option to automatically click on the bid and change it, you can select it. You can click this button here, edit, and you can say change max CPC bids. This is actually going to allow you to do it in bulk if there's a lot of keywords that you feel are overperforming. Anything you want to add there?
I mean, yeah, and again, a great question, and I think that's a great way to increase the bids to ensure that you're being competitive. If you really want to focus on a budget for a specific keyword, the best approach is really separating that out in its own campaign. And I don't think there's any shortage for that because it's really to do with setting up a good structure. So that would be my recommendation.
Perfect. So there's two options there. So if anyone has any more questions or would like to get in touch with us, we're available by phone, by 24-hour chat support. We're also available on most social media platforms. So thank you guys for tuning in and see you next week.
Bye now.
Bye.